everyone. Happy Monday. Happy Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm Jamela Santos. I'm a proud social worker. I'm a licensed professional counselor, and I'm a lifelong student and practitioner of yoga. So I'm so happy to be able to welcome everybody to the Guam Women's Chamber's first ever virtual wellness week. How awesome. And before I start to go into anything, I'm going to start off by asking you to join me just to get connected. So if you would just, in your seats or wherever you are, just find a comfortable position. And then if you want, you can close your eyes, but if you prefer to look down at something on the ground or even at your lap, you can do that. And then I just want you to take a breath in. Nothing too fancy, just breathe in and then breathe out. Try that again, breathing in and breathing out. Good, nice and connected. So now I'm going to ask you to extend to that breath in, just breathing in a little bit deeper on the inhale. And then on the exhale, slow it down and see if you can take your time breathing out. Trying it again, inhaling and then exhaling, nice and slow, taking your time, and find the connection with your breath and then what you're feeling in your body. Again, a couple more times together, inhaling and then exhaling slowly and completely. Good. One last time. Awesome. Thank you. So that short exercise of just connecting to our breath and our bodies, and then maybe connecting even with each other, and then connecting with our surroundings. So this is the concept that I'm using for today's session to help us think about these concepts that we know probably pretty well in our minds, and that we try to practice a lot, especially in these times of stress. And we're pretty stressed right now with everything that's going on around us in the world and with our health. And so we just want to make sure that we know what these concepts are, not only in here cognitively, but we know what these concepts are in our bodies. And sometimes when we're super stressed, we get flooded, our brain gets flooded with all of these things that we have to do and how to get ourselves through something, and we forget that we already possess the tools in our bodies to help us to calm down and relax. And sometimes the same tools that let us know that we're stressed and the same tools that let us know that we might be in danger or something are the same tools that can help us to be able to calm down and to relax. And it just depends on how you use your breath in your body to achieve that state. And sometimes we think that the point of relaxation or calm comes from external, and sometimes we think we need to go somewhere or listen to music, and those things are all really helpful and we should be doing those things. But we should also know that we possess those tools in our body just in case we can't access that song that we like, or we can't go to the beach and swim in the ocean at that moment. We have to know that we have it already in our bodies and we've always had it. And sometimes when we get really stressed, we forget to use it. And so what I'm going to do today, just like we did a moment ago, is to use these concepts like connection. So I asked you to try breathing to connect with your breath and your body. And so we can say that what we know up here means connection. We also know what it means in our bodies. And so that's the integration, right? This kinesthetic learning process. And when we can practice these concepts in our body and build these healthy habits, then hopefully when we need it the most, when we're stressed, that we can access it a little bit easier because we remembered what it felt like in our body. And so some of the concepts that I'm going to go through right now and today, these short practices that are also great for children and the adults who model them for children. I'll just talk about this concept of relaxing, concept of paying attention, being able to slow down, be kind to yourself, and to know your limits. And all of these are going to happen in simple postures right here, sitting down, or if you want to stand up, you can, but using our body and our breath, all right? So the first one I'm going to go through is this concept of relax, okay? So sometimes we tell people, hey, you need to relax, or we tell ourselves like, God, just relax. And so we're going to try some things out that help us to know that feeling in our bodies and in our muscles so we can integrate it, right? So I'm going to ask you to you're going to start with regular breathing. And then on the inhale, you're going to take your shoulders up towards your ears as if you're shrugging. I don't know. So it's going to be an inhale, take your shoulders up, contracting your muscles to bring your shoulders up. And then on the exhale, slow it down and feel your muscles relaxing all the way down. Good. So we'll try that again. Inhaling, shoulders up. Take your time, nothing too fast here. And then exhale, feeling your muscles relax, relaxing them all the way down. Again, a few more times. Inhaling, shoulders up. Muscles are contracting to work, and then relaxing as you bring them down, relaxing all the way down. Just feel that for a moment. Okay? A couple more times on your own. Relaxing all the way down. And then last one. Shoulders up. And then relaxing, feeling those muscles relax all the way down. And pause here for a moment to feel it. Good. And then you can roll them out if you want to. Awesome. So the next concept that I'm going to talk about is about paying attention. So of course, many of you know that when you're really, really stressed or when you have a lot going on, it's difficult to just focus and pay attention to something. And that's what happens when our brain is experiencing a lot of stress or chronic stress. So we're going to do a movement that helps us to just make that connection within our body. So this is also called body awareness, right? And we're going to integrate this movement with our breath. So you're going to inhale and take your arms above your head. And then on the exhale, you're going to take your right hand and bring it down to your side, slightly leaning over to your left. And then just pay attention and feel what's happening to the left side of your body. And then on the inhale, right arm comes up above your head. And then on the exhale, this time, left arm comes down, leaning over with your right hand to the left, paying attention to where you're feeling the stretch on the right side of your body. Just notice it. Good. Inhaling, both arms up. And then exhaling, right arm comes down, reaching over. Feel the stretch happening. Where is it happening for you? Inhale, both arms up. And then exhale, leaning over with the left. Pausing here to notice and pay attention to what's happening on the right side of your body. All right, so on the inhale, both arms come up above your head. And then slowly, as you exhale, you're going to take both arms down by your side, taking your time, feeling. And then just pause here for a moment to notice if you have any sensations in your hands or your fingertips. If you're feeling anything in your shoulders or your neck, just paying attention, noticing what's happening in your body. Good. Right, so the next concept that I'm going to talk about is this idea of slowing down. So we definitely could learn a lot about what it means to slow down. We maybe need to slow down in our cars, maybe we need to slow down and just take a break somewhere in the day, and we have a hard time being able to do that even though we know what it means in here. And so I'm going to try a breathing practice with you that helps us to feel, what does that slowing down actually mean in our bodies and with our breath? Right, so I'm going to count with you. We like to call it rhythmic breathing, and I'm going to do the count with you, and don't stress or don't worry if you're not getting it right away. It takes some time in practice, and the concept really is to take a little bit of a shorter inhale and then slow the breath down, almost double the time as you exhale. So I'll do a count of 3 on the inhale and then a count of 6 on the exhale, right? So let's try it together. Just natural breathing first. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale for 1, 2, 3, and then slow the breath down. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Again, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, and then exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. One more time together. Inhale 1, 2, 3. Exhale, slow it down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to ask you to do a few rounds on your own at your own pace. And one last round. Good. So you just felt what it feels like to slow down the breath. So you're inhaling for a shorter period of time, slowing the breath down as you breathe out, and just changing the ratio of your breath and your breathing can send signals to your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of your body and your brain that tells you, I can rest, I can relax, I can calm down and slow down, right? So what we're going to do now is we're going to incorporate that rhythmic breathing with some movement. And the concept that I'm going to use for this next practice is to be kind to yourself, right? I like this, this is especially fun to do with children and young people. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start off with our palms to touch, thumbs to our chest. And then that same breathing practice is going to come on the inhale. You're going to take your arms out and away from your body, arms spreading as wide as it feels comfortable, slightly lifting your chest. And then on the exhale, you're going to have your arms come together, cross over, and then give yourself a nice kind of like squeeze and hug, right? And then we're going to add the count, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, and then exhale, slow it down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice squeeze. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice little hug here. Inhaling 1, 2, 3. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice hug here. Let's do a few rounds on your own at your own pace. Don't forget that hug. This is the concept of being kind to yourself, calming breath, slowing down, and then one last round. Exhaling. Nice squeeze here. Just hold here for a moment. And go ahead and release your arms down. Very nice. Roll it out if you need to. Awesome. So I'm going to teach our last concept, which is sometimes also very difficult for us to know our limits. This is the concept. What does it mean to know your limits? And I'm going to use a seated pigeon posture to understand this concept within our bodies. And maybe some of us have been sitting already for half the day at our desks or something, and so this will be a good way to work your hips. So hopefully you're in a position where you can, I think you can see me. All right, so starting off with both feet on the ground, you're gonna take your left ankle and come into like a figure 4. So just like this, right above your right knee. And if you already feel this in that left hip, then you can just stay here. If this is your limit, you can stay right here. And if you want to test it out and feel, what would it be like to just come a little bit more forward? And then notice what's happening in your hip or anywhere else on this leg. And the practice about knowing your limits is to say, okay, I think I'm going to try going a little deeper, maybe a little deeper. And then when you reach that point, or your body reaches that point where you're like, no more, then that's your limit, and you can stay there, right? It should feel like a stretch, but it shouldn't feel painful, and you're paying attention to that. Just a few breaths here. Don't forget to breathe. Right, good. And then on the inhale, you're going to come back up. And then exhale, go ahead and release your foot so that both feet are back on the ground. Okay, so you ready? We'll do the other side. This time, you're going to place your right ankle just above that left knee or somewhere on your left thigh. And then feel it out, what's happening in this right hip here or in your right leg. If you want, you can just stay right here. If this is your limit, know it and stay. This is all good. And then if you want to test it, you can come slightly forward. Right, just so that the stretch feels good, not painful, not too intense. Should feel like you're getting a little bit of an opening in this right hip. Keep your breath flowing. Awesome. And then inhale, come back up. On the exhale, go ahead and release your foot back down on the ground so that both feet are on the ground. Cool. All right, so we just went over these different practices that integrate what's happening in our body and our breath and what we know these concepts to be in our minds. So the concept of relaxing, paying attention, being able to slow down, being kind to yourself, and then even knowing your limits. And so when we are able to integrate what these feel like in our bodies on a regular basis, if possible, when the time comes to access them, then at least our bodies can say, hey, I know what it means to slow down because I can do that with my breath. And then you practice it. And you don't need any equipment, you don't need any tools, you don't really need to be anywhere to just access that breath, right? So I'm coming to the end of my session, and I'd like to just close off again with some breathing to help us get reconnected. So get comfortable, whatever you need to do to get comfortable. And then you can close your eyes or gaze down at a spot on the floor or on your lap. And then take a breath in, and then breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. See if you can lengthen both breath in and lengthen the breath out. Feel yourself connecting with that breath. Notice what it's doing in your body, even like what's moving in your chest or in your rib cage or your belly. Finding that connection with your own breath in your body, and then hopefully finding connection with each other and the environment around you. And know that you have control over how to use these tools. Awesome. You can come back to natural breathing. Thank you everybody for joining my session today. I'm so excited for the rest of this week. We have some awesome presenters coming for the rest of the week. Enjoy everybody and be safe. Bye. Thanks.